Yo, what's going on everybody? So recently I came out with a video talking about what series I prefer between My Hero Academia and Black Clover, and for the most part it seemed like I pissed off a lot of Black Clover fanboys based off of my recent videos comment section. Like seriously, if you just go to my recent videos comment section and look at it, you won't see nothing but a whole bunch of hurt fanboys in that motherfucker, bro. Like for real. Like I'm talking about niggas is over there writing essays, stories, paragraphs and shit. Like when I say niggas is mad, bro, niggas is mad, alright? And I guess they're pissed off because they felt like I was misinformed about a lot of shit, whether it's about how people got their magic spells, what is good character development, etc, what's bad writing, shit like that, right? And it's real fucking funny, right? Because in the video, I literally said that if I can break things down better that I would've, but I couldn't because I didn't want to make the video over 50 minutes long. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm not finna spend over 50 minutes to an hour talking about two shows I don't give a fuck about. And I thought I could just hop on, you know, say my piece about these two series as far as which one was better and pretty much go about my day, right? Because for the most part, I felt like it was pretty clear cut. One series relies on ass pulls and takes a lot from popular Shonen Jump series to the point where their characters and story don't feel original at all. Like they just feel like off-brand versions of them. While the other series, they do take from popular Shonen Jump series, except they managed to create an original story out of it. Their characters are way more developed, the villains are way more developed, and they actually do a good job in showing both sides of the coin as far as the hero and the villain's perspective on the hero world. And most important of all, they actually put their characters in a situation where they could lose. Hell, when they did lose. And I'm not talking about the type of loss like in Black Clover where the Dark Triad came in and fucked up Yuno and Noel and gave them a chance to heal up, get stronger, and come back for vengeance. Nah, not that type of loss. I'm talking about the type of loss where humanity itself loses faith in the heroes, where the world is ran by fucking villains on some purge type shit. A series that actually has some risk to the point where I don't know if the main character is going to succeed in his overall mission as far as having the world believe that they can trust heroes once again since All Might's retirement. And I know they say in the beginning of the manga that Deku is going to become the greatest hero, but we don't know when that shit takes place. If I could bet money between Asta becoming the Wizard King and Deku being able to make the world believe in heroes again, then I'll easily put my money on Asta being the Wizard King because he has no threat that's keeping him from becoming the Wizard King. Like in Black Clover, who was really threatening Asta? This motherfucker just got a whole new transformation. I think it's called Union Form or some shit like that. Like he's literally OP as fuck. Deku literally has to worry about Shigaraki and All For One because he's not the strongest in his own series. And don't you Black Clover fans come in my comment section saying, well, Asta's actually not OP and he's not the strongest in this series. No, don't tell me that shit because I seen the Elf arc, my nigga, alright? This OP ass demon or devil named Zagrid, he's a high ranking devil and Asta was able to fucking muster up some of his bullshit anti-magic to the point where he can break Zagrid's pitchfork and actually harm him. Keep in mind that the devil that's inside Asta is one of the lowest ranking devils in the underworld, alright? And Asta is just now learning how to use his demon form, alright? In the first stages, he's able to break a high ranking demon's pitchfork and actually harm him. And then Black Clover fans get mad when I call ass pull or plot convenience or whatever the fuck, right? Like it's just bad writing. And also they had Asta finish off Dante with 80% of Lucifero's power unleashed. Lucifero is a top 3 if not the #1 devil in all of Black Clover, bruh. Asta was able to defeat him by begging for some of Libby's anti-magic, you know, the devil that's ranked the lowest in the underworld. Asta was begging Libby for some of his anti-magic as if he's fucking Naruto begging for some of Kurama's chakra, and he took Captain Yami's sword, combined it, and finished off Dante, who had 80% of Lucifero's power unleashed. And then you motherfuckers wonder why I say bullshit or ass pull. Like no, like I said, it's bad writing, and this is a clear example of it. Now Deku does have his ass pull moments. I'm not even about to cap to you, he does. I'm still mad about how they treated Overhaul in that arc, but at least it kind of made sense because the girl, she can travel back in time, and as long as she's touching Deku, and while Deku is using 100% of One For All, he can't really hurt himself because the girl keep on reversing back time. So that kind of made sense. I'm just mad that they treated Overhaul dirty as hell when he could potentially been a great ass villain. I mean, I still think he's a good villain, but the way they handled him in the end was It was a cheap way to handle a good villain with a good quirk, all right? Now, as far as the muscular fight, I mean, I ain't got shit to say to that. I mean, the dude shot water at him, but still, that's not no excuse for Deku to go 1 million fucking %. But if I had to take this or Asta being able to finish off Dante with 80% of Lucifero's power, then I'm easily taking Deku versus Muscular over fucking that. Like, the ass pool with Asta finishing off Dante with 80% of Lucifero's power is way worse than whatever the fuck Deku did to Muscular. Like, it's not even fucking close. At least with Deku, you can make the excuse that Koda distracted Muscular, but what's the excuse for Asta in this bullshit? And I know the Black Clover fans gonna make me look like a liar. They gonna make me look crazy. They gonna hit the dislike button, but I don't give a shit, because most of the Black Clover fan base ain't nothing but a bunch of 13 and 18-year-old kids who get emotional every time you be a little critical about their shitty show. Like, these motherfuckers are soft for real, bro. I'm talking about cooking in a microwave type of soft. Warm my milk up in the middle of the night type of soft ass niggas. Oh sweet, mom packed me up a tuna sandwich with a fruit roll up type of soft ass niggas. Like, and I respect the Black Clover fans out there who are actually objective. You know, the ones that don't get mad every time someone says that Asta is a knockoff of Naruto. Like, I literally talked to someone who was a fan of Black Clover and I said, hey, you know Black Clover is a ripoff of this, is this and that. Guess what they said? Yup, I don't give a fuck if it is a knockoff of Bleach and Naruto. I think this shit go hard. Like, what's so wrong about admitting shit? Like, just because it is a knockoff doesn't take away your enjoyment of it. All you do is just nitpick people's points instead of actually arguing them. If what I'm saying is wrong about Black Clover, then what's wrong with your series? And half of you Black Clover fans that be in my comment section, I literally see you guys on everybody else's comment section that talk shit about Black Clover. It was literally videos I seen where people actually made good points and the dislike button was going through the fucking roof. I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck did he say wrong? One of the YouTubers doxed one of you fucking Black Clover fans that be in my comment section. I actually know how one of you look like. Salik Smith, you look just like my little brother. He's fucking 12. And half of you motherfuckers that be in my comment section trying to tell me about anime, half of you motherfuckers never even watched anime outside of Shonen Jump. One of the motherfuckers' favorite anime was fucking Hitman Reborn. And then one of the motherfuckers tried to question me about my knowledge of anime, and then proceeded to say that the only developed characters in Naruto and Naruto Shippuden were Sai and Gaara. Sai, of all fucking people. So now I'm even questioning if you even know your own fucking genre. So when I hear that shit, I completely understand why the fuck y'all didn't catch my drift or most of my points in my videos. I can completely understand now why most of you guys think that Noelle is a developed character, or why Vanessa is a developed character, why you think an ass pool is not an ass pool despite it being in a battle system of a fucking manga. I can understand why you guys think all of these things, because most of you guys never try anything outside of fucking Shonen Jump, and most of the time Shonen Jump doesn't do character development well at all. Now, with all that being said, let me actually give you guys my reasons as to why I think Black Clover is a terrible series. And yeah, I know the dislike button gonna go through the roof for this video, but guess what? I don't give a fuck, alright? Like, like, I don't care if you dislike my shit. Like, I'll dislike my shit too. Like, I can play games with you motherfuckers as well. Like, I don't give a shit about this dislike button shit, bro. Like, engagement is engagement. And if it turns out that this video get more dislikes than likes, then I accomplished my mission when creating this video. Now, the first thing we can get into as far as what makes Black Clover a trash ass series is the ass pools, or in this case, bad writing, because Black Clover did a real stupid thing by putting ass pools in their battle system. What does that mean? Let me explain. Magic is the refinement and application of magic power to perform a specific function or spell. There are 3 ways that a mage can develop their magical abilities: natural talent, hard work, and experiencing a life or death situation. Now, so far that doesn't sound bad, at least for the first 2. But the whole experiencing the life or death situation thing is a complete ass pool, because what it's pretty much is telling us is anytime a mage is put in a situation where they might die, they can get any type of spell that can help them in that very situation. But there's more to read, so let's continue on. Upon turning 15 years old, a mage can attend an annual ceremony where they receive a special book known as a grimoire. This book enhances the user's magical abilities and gives them the ability to cast specific spells that are far in advance to their their own natural magical abilities. At first, a grimoire is mostly empty, but as the user grows as a person, new spells are inscribed on the blank pages. When a new spell appears, it corresponds to the situation that caused the mage's personal development. For example, Gosh acquires a new spell that allows him to make duplicates of other people because he learns to trust someone after years of only having faith in himself. So pretty much, this is not the only way you can get spells, alright? You can get spells by believing in your friends, or just being in a shitty situation, or believing really hard, or being in a life or death situation, or having natural talent or hard work. It is so many ways you can get new spells in Black Clover. And I don't know why they didn't make it to where you have to train to get these new spells, because if that was the case, it would have built a lot more character for some of these characters on this show. For example, if Noelle would have trained and bust her ass to learn Valkyrie's armor, then it would have been a lot more impactful, and I would have had a lot more sentimental for her because she trained to bust her ass to learn this new form. And it also would have developed her as a character. Instead, Black Clover said, fuck that, let's make it to where she can access all these forms in the quickest way possible with almost little effort. That way we can advance the plot as fast as we can and we can get into the good shit. That right there is called bad writing, because when you do that, it almost never builds character. For instance, how often is it that a person that is born with the rich family have to work hard for their shit versus a person that was born with nothing having to work hard for their shit? Because in most cases, the person that's born in a world with nothing that has to work hard for their shit, they're building a lot more character and is a lot more developed than the person that is born in a world with a rich family. Because the person that was born in a world with nothing that has to work hard for their shit, they have to bust their ass constantly just so they can have a stable living situation. While the person that is born with the rich family don't have to bust their ass to do anything because they're born in the world with the rich family. Like, it doesn't build any character and it doesn't give them any development. It's a reason why most rich people are dickheads and are cocky as fuck, because they never had to experience the grind before. The grind builds character, and this is why Black Clover should have made it to where the mages can only get new spells by just grinding, because it will do a lot more for their character. Like, instead of me bashing Noelle for learning Valkyrie's armor, I'll actually be sympathizing with her and rooting for her because I'll have witnessed her train and bust her ass just to learn that transformation. But instead, no, Black Clover made it to where she ass pulled her way to the transformation, and that just doesn't build any character at all and doesn't make me sympathize with her. And I know there's going to be people that say, what are you talking about? People in Black Clover do train for their new spells. What are you talking about? Noelle did train to get her Valkyrie's armor. It was hinted at the volcano when she was training with Marilee and Noah. Look, in most cases in Black Clover, when they do have their little training sessions, it never leads to them getting any of the same level of spells that they might have got if they was put in life or death situations. In most cases, it's just them talking about it or them thinking about it. Or in Asa's case, since he's the main character, he literally had to think about devil energy flowing throughout his body, and instead of, Black Clover saying, this might actually take some skill or at least a little training, no, they had it to where Asa literally learned the shit on the first fucking try. And I don't know if you guys call that training, but what I consider training is when someone is busting their ass constantly for days in and days out, trying to learn a specific ability that would help them in the future of their battles, especially if the ability can lead to them learning some power that most people consider OP, i.e. fucking Vanessa and her Destiny Cat. And I know people say she trained for this ability, or that Tabata said that she trained really hard for this ability. The only problem with that is that they never fucking show it, which is literally my definition of a fucking lazy writer, alright? Because you can't have someone learn a spell that fucking powerful and not show it, alright? Have you ever heard of the saying, show me better than you can tell me? That shit applies to this and all of Black Clover. Shit, even Naruto having his writing problems. At least they showed us Naruto learning the Rasengan, the Rasen Shuriken, and guess what? The Rasen Shuriken was a huge part in Naruto defeating Pain. And also, if you trained to learn a specific spell and you didn't awaken it during your training, then you didn't learn the fucking spell. Just because you trained for it a little bit and then went in the battlefield and pretty much awakened it because you thought about your friends and family and your progression and all this other bullshit, doesn't mean that you train for the ability, because guess what? Once you learn that ability, it's a whole nother process of learning that ability. It's one thing to have the spell, and then it's another thing to actually learning how to use the spell. It's like having a powerful ass Yu-Gi-Oh card, right? Once you have that powerful ass card, you can't just summon it to the field. No, you have to now learn how to use that powerful ass card. And I know there's going to be some fans that say, hey, look, you're not taking into account how people learn their spells in Black Clover again. Look, a person that's coming into the show with a logical mindset like me, when they see this shit, they're not gonna think about Black Clover's magic system, alright? They're gonna look at this shit and be like, yo, this is some badass writing. She didn't learn this shit when she was training for it, so why the fuck is she learning it now? And also, just because someone is not accepting to Black Clover's magic system, or just because someone don't want to understand Black Clover the way you fans want us to understand Black Clover, doesn't mean that we're misinformed. Like, no, we're hella informed. Like, we're reading the same shit and watching the same shit. We can't say that it's bad writing unless we understand it. And if you still feel like we don't understand it after pretty much reading the same shit and watching the same shit, then guess what? You're pretty much saying that we're not allowed to have an opinion. Unless it agrees with yours, of course. And overall, I just don't understand the whole hard working and training thing in Black Clover's magic system. Like, if you got most of your most powerful magic spells off ass pools, then wouldn't it make sense for y'all to just like go to different dungeons and just get y'all ass whooped so y'all can just get ass pools and new spells? I mean, that's how y'all got most of y'all most powerful magic spells now. Or shit, why not just have the Spade Kingdom come and fuck y'all up? I mean, they'll be putting y'all in a life or death situation, which would make y'all eligible for an ass pool, or in this case, a new spell. And trust me, whatever spell y'all get, it'll give you guys enough to beat the Dark Triad, because right here it says that any new spell you get, it will correspond to the current situation that caused it. So, I mean, you guys would be just fine, and I think you guys would have handled Dante, Vonica, and Xenon pretty well. And for those out there who actually get mad by us people calling Black Clover's magic system an ass pool, or the way how mages get their magic spells in Black Clover is an ass pool, let us tell you, we don't give a fuck, alright? Like, we just calling shit for what it is. If it looks like an ass pool, then it's an ass pool. We don't give a fuck that it says it in the magic system of Black Clover. And for the technical ones out there, I have a great example for you, alright? In Japan, the age of consent to have sex with a young girl is 13 years old. In my state, it's 18. I'm 26, so if I go out to Japan and I fuck a 14-year-old girl, does it make me a pedophile or not? Because technically, by Japan's laws, the age of consent is 13, so I'm good, technically. Or is you gonna sit there and say, no, fuck that, a pedophile is a pedophile? Because if you said that, then you just proved our fucking point for the people who actually think Black Clover is a series full of ass pools. But now that I addressed why I think Black Clover's magic system is nothing but a complete ass pool and just bad writing and lazy writing all together, let's address this whole character development thing really quick, alright? Because when I put out my list, it seemed like a lot of people had a problem with my list. But before I start saying anything, let me just say this. Just because you enjoy something doesn't make it good, alright? If you look at my list, I had a lot of characters on that list that didn't develop. For example, Captain Yami. Someone in the comment section said that Captain Yami really didn't develop as a character, and they're right. Does that mean that I'm not supposed to enjoy him as a character? No, I almost put Sake on my fucking list. You know why? Because he always does that goofy ass waha shit, and that shit is funny as fuck to me. Does that make him a good character? No. Just because I like Captain Yami, does that make him a better character than Kakashi Sensei or All Might? No, because Kakashi Sensei and All Might has way more character development than Captain Yami. And am I gonna get mad if someone say that to me? No, because I understand that my enjoyment is mostly my opinion and what I prefer. People were also annoyed that I said that Noelle didn't have any character development. So let me address it. This whole thing with Noelle and her family issues, just because Noelle pieced it up with her siblings doesn't mean that she had character development. All she did was just solve some family issues. And guess what? Everybody has family issues. Just because me and my parents might not fuck with another side of my family and then we later on piece it out and now we having family cookouts and shit, that doesn't mean that we developed as characters. No, we just solved some family issues. We go back to being the same people we were before. And this applies to Noelle. She goes back to being the same royal cocky bitch after solving her family issues. And if you compare to when we first met Noelle versus now, she still has that cocky ass attitude. And also, just because someone has evolved in power doesn't mean that that's character development. That's called power development. Character development and power development are two different things. The character development deals with the character's psyche, motives, who they were then versus now, and etc, etc. Power development, it talks about the character and how much they evolved in power from when we first met them. Here are some examples off the top of my head of female Shonen Jump characters that actually experienced character development. And I think what makes people think that Noelle is this great developed character is the fact that they keep on comparing her to characters like Sakura and Naruto. without really realizing that Sakura and Naruto actually has some character development. Like, compare Sakura from when we first met her to the end of Shippuden. It's two completely different people. She wouldn't even give Naruto the time of day. Now she kinda understands him now, to the point where she did a fake love confession so Naruto could drop the whole Sasuke thing because she seen how much the promise was weighing on him. I mean, she could have did it a different way and she could have done it better, but at the end of the day, it's the thought that counts, right? She might have not had any cool abilities or cool awakenings or anything, but that's not what makes a good character, guys. Just because you give a female character screen time, some ass pulls, some powers, and something to do, that doesn't mean that builds them as a character or even makes them a good character. Think about it. What makes you a good character? Are you the same person from when you were 6 years old? In most cases, no. And let me just get this whole knockoff thing out the way real quick. If you're a Black Clover fan and you can't acknowledge that Black Clover took, not inspired, but took from Naruto and especially Bleach, then I don't want to hear it from you, alright? Just like, get off my video, get off my channel, because if you can't even keep it real with the obvious, then what would you keep it real with? And let me just also say this, right? There is no series out there that is 100% original, alright? But there are series out there that can take ideas and be creative with them to the point where they do feel original. For instance, how many series out there did the whole end of the world theme where something was threatening to wipe the existence of humanity or already wiped the existence of humanity? Most likely hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different manga series, right? But which series done it the best? In most cases, people will probably say Evangelion, Attack on Titan, or Akira. And if someone was to come and make an end of the world manga and it sounded just like Attack on Titan, or it took some ideas that sounded just like Akira, or they had key moments in plot, in the plot where it sounded just like Evangelion, then you're gonna be like, hey, that kind of sounds like this series or this series and that series. And you can't use the excuse saying that, well, Evangelion, Attack on Titan, and Akira, they took from other shows that did the end of the world thing. No, you can't use that dumbass excuse because they are the 1% that actually did it right. It's a reason why the new series that's trying to come up is taken from those series. Now that's all I pretty much have to say about this stupid ass show. If you still can't accept everything that I said, then like I said earlier, you just don't want me to have an opinion. You just want me to think just like you, and I'm not doing that shit, alright? I have a brain and a mind of my own, and I can go about my way, alright? Now, that's all I have to say. If you like the video, like and subscribe. If you dislike the video, go ahead. I don't give a shit. Go ahead and show the people how butthurt you really are about your favorite show. The fact that you can't take criticism about your show. Like, go ahead, hit the dislike button. Go crazy, my nigga. But that's pretty much all I had to say. Trigger Senpai out, man. Peace.